Oh boy, is this great. Sunday Night Football, Jerry Jones couldn't be happier, baby. Only one team on the big stage. Technically two, but the Cowboys are one of them. Let's get ready for Cowboys and Tampa Bay, and I need your help with something. It's Jeff and Aisha, and we're ready to party on the DLLS Cowboys pregame show. Meow. All right, everybody, welcome in. It is time for the DLLS Cowboys pregame. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at your Dallas Cowboys at AT&T Stadium. Cowboys are an underdog. I do like what we got here. I like that people are in the chat before the show even starts. We appreciate those of you that hit the like and subscribe button. I'd shout out to all of you guys that are wanting to tank. Boy, it'd be tough to be a Raider fan today. They had the #1 overall pick, and then they won a game today. Now they're 5th. That's tough. That's tough living.
And they're so dysfunctional in such a unique way. Like, what are they doing? Do they have any plan?
No, they don't have a plan. No, And if you don't have a plan, that's when you've got to be able to tank. And they don't have a quarterback. And now they just lost the ability to pick whichever one they want for now. But the Giants, that's a team focused on the goal. They ain't winning the game the rest of the way. They're getting that pick, #1. Okay? We are going to talk about the Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because I think that you are incredibly knowledgeable and can help people be ready for this game. But first, I want everybody to know that the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is Baker Mayfield. And in my 3 keys to the game that I was recording with Abby right before the game, I said the key is to tackle Baker Mayfield like those police did when he tried to run away. And I remember where he was when that happened, so I looked it up. He was in Fayetteville, but it was late February. That means school would be in session, but the college football season's over. What was he doing in Fayetteville? If anybody knows, leave it in the chat. What was Baker doing there?
Jeff's investigating, so any input you guys would have, this is a group project.
Yep. There will be a finder's fee. I will send you some size 13 lightly used tennis shoes.
That's what size you wear?
Yeah, I'm 13.
I'll be forgetting you a big human.
I'm a big guy.
Yeah, you're
I'm a big guy.
Big human.
You ready for football?
I guess.
You ready to football?
No playoffs. Surprise.
Oh, yeah. The Cowboys have officially been eliminated from playoff contention, and apparently Mike McCarthy was a little down about that.
Yeah,
sad.
They were saying Zach Wilczek reported that on 105.3 The Fan, they do the pregame interview with him, and that he sounded dejected, and you could tell he was disappointed. And I love the optimism like we were talking about before, but it's also like, let's not have blind optimism. But I guess it's not super blind because Washington has been fickle this last
Yeah, but there's 5 other teams in front of you too.
But
you need them all to lose every game. I think the season was probably over like 5 weeks ago, maybe 6.
Fair.
But shout out to Mike. Like, they've been fighting and scrapping and clawing what you want. That's a good thing. Did he really think? In
his heart. Maybe the optimism was because he trying to put himself in position for either a job here or here.
Okay.
Maybe the optimism came from a place of deep belief in himself.
Yeah, I like that.
That's good.
I like that. I'm a big believer in the TO. I love me some me. I'm a big believer in if I don't tell you how amazing I am, who will?
That's fair.
So I just have to let you know that I'm incredible. Bad news, good news or bad news, depending on which lens you're viewing this game through, for both teams in terms of guys that are in and out.
Yes.
Cowboys, Eric Kendricks, out. TJ Bass, out. So at least guys of relevance, I think. Those 2 guys, that matters.
Yes.
That matters at least a little bit. And so I would imagine you're going to see a bunch of Damone Clark, which I actually think that he is fine. I don't necessarily think you're going to see some sort of giant drop-off. I just think you got into a wonky spot, and this happens in all sports, where there are coaches and players that they really like this player, They don't really vibe with this player, and Damone just seems like a guy that's what happened to him this year. He got caught in we like our rookie linebacker or our young linebackers, and you can go hang out over there.
Right.
And I don't think that he was super happy about that, which now you'd probably end up more, but now he'll get to play some football.
Because it's like, oh, now you need me?
Yeah.
Oh, now I got to play?
Yeah.
But it sounds like we're going to get a look at Nick Vigil as well, which
But if Nick Vigil plays over Damone Clark, they do hate him.
He playing.
If he's like, he's the one playing?
They said he's going to share the green dock with Maris. So that lets
no
you
one's
know.
ever hated a football player more than the Cowboys hate Damone Clark.
It is actually interesting, like, to see how this is kind of all unfolded with him. But yeah, dude, I am interested to see Nick Vigil. I take an interest in white men that play linebacker because they're typically a little nuts, and I like that. Have you seen him play special teams? He's crazy out there.
Okay.
He's crazy.
Usually I'm the one who awkwardly wants to interject race into the discussion. I'm excited that you did that for me.
White men that play, every white man I'm seeing that's play linebacker is crazy, just like safety. They're just they have that edge to them.
Yeah,
I like it.
I am excited about the all-white team this year.
Who is that?
Because for the first time, we're prepared to field a team with a secondary.
Who?
Do you not remember the story last year? Who was it that was? It was Rashard Mendenhall. He went on a Twitter rant. The former Steelers running back. Mm-hmm. He might be a little CTE'd up. I don't know.
Oh my God.
He went on a Twitter rant, and it was about white players not whatever, can't whatever.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
And then so people started making the all-white versus the all-black team, and we didn't have a secondary. But now we have Cooper DeJean and Riley Moss.
And
two white corners. Harrison Smith. Reed Blankenship.
Yeah.
We can field a secondary, which is exciting for us.
Those some players.
I don't like saying us.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
That sounds gross.
It is kind of weird. But we talked about the linebacker thing. No Kendricks. On the other side, kind of goes against what you want. No Cade Otton.
I hate that. That's tough. That's tough for what I'm looking for.
I bet you they hate it because, baby, all they run is 11 personnel. And he is a big part of what they do.
I had to look up who's going to be the tight end for them. And the fact that I already forgot should tell you that it's not great.
Let me go.
Hold on. No, I'll go find him again. I believe it's going to be a guy named Payne Durham who rocks that mustache.
I remember Payne Durham.
Do you remember this guy?
Interviewed him at the Combine.
Oh, hell yeah.
I remember him.
Do a little scouting. Purdue man.
Yeah, versatile. Everybody knew him for his blocking ability, but he coming into the draft, like, he wanted to be known for the stash is kind of.
Did he have that at the Combine?
I don't remember him having that stash.
Okay.
I remember him looking a little more welcoming, to be honest.
No, he's not welcoming.
But it's a guy that can block. He wanted to be known as more as a receiver coming into his NFL career. I don't know if that's really come to fruition. We haven't seen him that much, so surprise.
Yeah, and like Tampa's an interesting team because they have a really good offense.
Right.
They have a top 5, top 6 in pretty much everything. Mm-hmm. Top 6-ish offense in the NFL. When you go man for man, it's interesting because especially without Cade Otton, because you're really talking Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, and the running backs now. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get a ton. Not that Sterling Shepard or McMillan don't make some plays.
Yes.
But they're not guys that you're worried about, right?
Yeah.
Mike Evans is a monster. Cade Otton had been a really good security blanket. You're taking away the blanket and the other guy that I'm going to go to if you put all of your attention on Mike Evans. And so, if you are just Cowboy fan who watches the Cowboy games because you're a Cowboy fan, so obviously I want to win every week, honestly, they have a chance tonight.
Absolutely. And then when you talk about also, too, not only does Cade Otton, help them in the receiving game, he chipped people. He helped out. This is a plus for this Dallas defensive line that's going to be trying to get after Baker Mayfield and make him uncomfortable as well. So it is a huge loss for the Bucs. So we'll just see how it plays out.
And so now we're going to whoop them. Katya, can you just let me know when we have the great Joe Hoyt? He's ready for us.
Great.
Let's go check in with the greatest beat writer in the history of the Dallas Cowboys, Joe Hoyt, who's at AT&T Stadium. Tell us something, Joe.
Hey, guys. You guys already talked about it a little bit, but, yeah, no Eric Kendricks tonight. That's a huge blow for the Cowboys. I'd imagine you see a lot more Damone Clark next to Maris Liufau. That's something to keep an eye on. Another thing to keep an eye on, Micah Parsons was dealing with an illness, kind of popped up on the injury report like that. Obviously, he's suited up. He's ready to play. One thing I did notice, though, he was moving a little slow in pregame, dropped to his knees a couple times to kind of catch his breath a little bit. You know, something to keep an eye on. Obviously, he's a guy that doesn't need a lot of preparation, but that's something I would at least keep an eye on. The last time he was sick, though, he had 3 sacks against the Carolina Panthers. That was induced by a C4 pre-workout, though, a year ago. So I don't know if that's what's going on this time, but something to keep an eye on.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. Like, you got the flu or something?
I mean, I could be wrong, but the way I remember the C4 thing, I thought that afterwards we found out that he didn't know how it worked, or whoever he borrowed it from didn't know how it worked, and they were just raw dogging energy drink. Like they were just taking shots of powder, and that's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea.
First time he had ever done it, and Marquise Bell was like, "Hey, why don't you try dry scooping it?" Is what it's called when you just take the powder straight to the mouth, no liquid. It worked out well, kind of.
No, don't raw dog that. How many sacks is Micah Parsons going to have tonight? Put that in the chat for us. We would appreciate. What are the things that you're keeping an eye on as we get this one going? I mean, I honestly think they have a chance to win this game. You know damn well I don't want them to. But I do think with no Cade Otton, it limits the amount of weapons that they have realistically. And there will be tons of keys to the game. But what are you keeping your eyes on?
No, I think you're spot on, Jeff and Aisha. I think you guys talking about, hey, it's Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans. And obviously the running backs are really good. Bucky Irving's fantastic. Great college he went to. But in terms of trying to stop down this Tampa Bay offense, if you can kind of shut down Mike Evans, who went off last week, who's definitely on a heater recently, you can kind of shut him down. Maybe you can kind of corral Bucky Irving in the Bucs running game. I think that's what I'm keeping an eye on is how do you try to attack Mike Evans? The other thing I'm keeping an eye on is in terms of the Cowboys run game, we've talked about it a lot. They've been having a lot of success on the ground despite a lot of movement on the offensive line. Chuma Edoga is healthy and playing tonight. Is he going to start a left tackle? I think based on pregame warmups, that's going to be the case. But they had a couple guys kind of rotating around on the offensive line. Obviously Cooper Beebe's back as well. So I think, can the offensive line with another potential shuffling of chairs still operate as well as it has been and create holes for the great Rico Dowdle?
Yeah, that was the main thing that I wanted to talk about, Joe, is the fact that, like, containing Bucky Irving and also understanding, like, with the linebacker situation that is going on, you see teams have been attacking you in the passing game with their running backs. I'm stressed out at how well Dallas defends Bucky Irving as a receiver, man.
No, I think it's a great call. And, I think ultimately with no Eric Kendricks and no DeMarvion Overshown, I mean, those were your 2 pillars at linebacker all season until recently. Now you have Damone Clark, who was, benched, who was healthy and active recently a couple times. He's going to be active tonight. Does he get the start next to Maris Liufau, a guy who was playing Sam linebacker mostly, kind of a rotational piece on the edge. Now he's going to be asked to be the green dot guy for this defense. I think that those are a lot of things thrown on these guys' plates, suddenly. And I think having to try to corral Bucky Irving is going to be a tough part of that plate.
Let's hope that's a little bit too much on their plate. You know what I'm saying, Joe? Let's hope it's just a little too much sauce on your chip.
Sick.
I had too much mac and cheese already, so I feel the too much on the plate. So,
could you power rank the foods, or let us know what the spread is like in the AT&T Stadium press box?
So today we had a little like crab shrimp roll, lobster roll kind of thing. That was delightful. They had a little prime rib cut that was pretty good. Okay. And then I went too much. I tried. They had this chicken with a little cheese filled in there with some crusted stuff. I was like, I think I can do the 3 for 3, and your boy failed. Oh my gosh! Look at my shoulder. Jump scare.
I tell you, Clarence. If there's one thing about Clarence Hill, it is that you better not do nothing without him, or he's going to get very sad.
He does have fun.
I started talking about food, and he showed up. Is that a coincidence? I don't know.
Oh, the snack snatcher in the building. Hey, he can't hear us, I want to know what Clarence puts in his pockets at AT&T Stadium. Like, will he put a handful of mac and cheese in his pocket?
What food are you going to put in your pocket?
You got to be bringing foil.
Chicken wings? All right, halftime chicken wings he's going to put in his pocket.
Chicken wings in his pocket.
Joe, last question for you from me. Any update on the severity of TJ Bass's injury? No one has really talked about it all week, and we don't know nothing about nothing.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of those things where there isn't a lot of information on it, which makes you kind of wonder, how much is known about it. With TJ Bass, early this week, it was, hey, he's got a good chance to play. Today was kind of a surprise inactive ultimately. So I think that's one thing we're going to have to keep an eye on. I think one thing we'll follow up with this week. And, that's a guy that you're going to need that kind of depth on the interior. I mean, they got Cooper Beebe back and they have Brock Hoffman, but if one of those guys goes down, is Chuma Edoga coming back in at guard, and then you bring Tyler Guyton in? Do you see Matt Waletzko? I saw him playing a little guard in pregame. Who knows?
What?
Get Tyler Guyton in the effing games. Don't go into an offseason with your first-round pick being benched the whole season and then tell us during the offseason it's okay, he was just a rookie. He's going to get super better and be amazing next year. Put him out there and let the kid play. Let the boy watch.
Let Jeff rant.
I forgot what that's from, but it's about gross stuff.
All right,
It's about Joe. Have a great day.
Bye,
Hopefully
Brody.
they try their best and come up just short.
You got a sickness.
I have problems.
Wait.
What?
Never mind.
What?
It was a football question. I forgot. I'll come back.
It's my specialty too. Now it's time for our look around the league, presented by our friends at Game Time, where if you use the promo code DLLS, you can get $20 off your first purchase. Game Time is where you need to go to get all of your tickets. You want to go to a sporting event, you want to go to a concert, any sort of show, download the Game Time app, use the code DLLS. You will get $20 off that first purchase. We do have some interesting things happening around the NFL today. What are you? Oh, is that the one I look at? Well, I don't, because I can't look at the screen. I can't. How are you guys doing? Why don't you hit that like and subscribe button and tell me the last show you went to in the chat. Around the NFL today, the Raiders made a massive mistake. The Vegas Raiders won a game. They beat the Jags 19-14. Now, don't get me wrong, the Jags suck. But you have to be more committed if you're the Raiders and you're holding on to the number 1 overall pick. You can't win a game. They won a game. Now they're currently going to pick 5th. The Giants weren't that stupid. They made sure to get their big hot L against the Falcons today and take over the rights to the number 1 pick. Jacksonville moves up to number 2 by losing to the aforementioned Raiders. Can you tell what Jeff's into? The top of the draft. Commanders beat the Eagles 36-33. Jalen Hurts left the game with a concussion. They couldn't stop Jaden Daniels and crew from getting it done there in the fourth quarter. So the Detroit Lions are currently the number 1 seed. They won today. Wildly, the Vikings are the 5 seed because, same division as the other 13-2 team. Mm-hmm. That sucks. They say Josh Allen's been playing with a broken hand all year. And then he banged up his other hand on a scramble in their game today, but he did come back in the game, and he's probably fine. They beat the Patriots. It was Michael Penix's debut for the Falcons.
What?
34-7 over the Giants. And the rumorooskies that I saw from Adam Schefter on the television today is that they're planning to cut Kirk Cousins. That'll cost you $60 million against the cap next year. He just had $100 million guaranteed, and they're just going to cut him. Allegedly. Vikings beat the Seahawks. Lions beat the Bears. Again, Lions currently the NFC's number 1 seed. Eagles 2, Vikings 5, because same division. And that is your Game Time look around the league, brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Use the promo code DLLS for $20 off. $100 million guaranteed, and they're just like, I guess we'll just cut them.
Them and the Browns. What was the plan? I don't think that, and again, I don't think they expected. I think it's how bad Kirk Cousins has been this last 3-4 games. Because I follow some of the Falcons people.
If you thought he was going to be bad, why did you guarantee him $100 million?
That's what I'm saying.
And then if you, Michael Penix being available with the number 8 overall pick, absolutely positively in no way caught you by surprise. You knew that would be available.
Right.
And so if you knew a quarterback you liked would be available and you were going to pick him, why did you guarantee someone else $100 million in free agency?
It doesn't make any sense. The whole thing, they hurt themselves for nothing.
Let us run your team.
Just let Michael, if you were going to if Michael Penix was who you wanted to play in the first place, you should have just let him run.
Let us run a team. Just one of the teams that's run bad.
Oh, don't put that even on me.
If you're the Falcons, come on.
No.
Let us take a shot.
Jeff can have that. That life is stressful.
Let me take a shot at it. And I don't even want support personnel. I got it. That's got to be inviting to the owner.
You got a whole. You going to do the whole thing?
Draft free. I don't need scouts.
You're sick.
I don't need pro personnel people.
What you sound like?
I want what?
Jerry.
I am Jerry.
Like Jerry.
I have the internet. If we get to the 5th round and I haven't seen enough guys, I'll just break out Dane Brugler's beast and I'll draft off of Dane's stuff. We'll be good. I know some scouts.
Some teams do that.
Well, the Bengals only have 2 scouts, so it's probably them.
Bye. How they just got 2?
They don't spend money. They're like Jerry, but worse.
Back to the game, because we about to sidetrack.
Back to the game.
With Tyler Guyton and this happening, you seriously have some angst about
I hate it.
How they're handling it. Is that what they gonna do for? If it's feeling like that might. There's only a few games left. That's what they gonna do, huh?
I guess that's the thing that I would ask is to you, to y'all, to anybody. Like, I feel like we have a good handle on how the Cowboys do things. They weren't worried about finding a starting nose tackle because they had just used a first-round pick on one.
Oh, my God.
So, like, they were never going to use another high pick because they were like, we just used a first-round pick. Let him develop. And so that's going to happen again. Tyler Guyton is going to be written in pen as a starter on your offensive line at left tackle next year. And because that's going to happen, how are you not letting him play?
What I find concerning is that you look like Edoga. You think Edoga is better than him. As a matter of fact.
And it's possible that he is. I would say it's probable that he is. But the difference is it's not like you're saying, look, Chuma Edoga is a really nice starter and gives us a chance to win games. Like, you're saying that this journeyman backup is a little better than our first-round pick. And so, like, I would say, fine. I am going to play the inferior player on purpose because there's a purpose to it.
There's a purpose to it.
The purpose is go play 60, 120, 180, 200, 250 more snaps this year, and let's see if you can make some progress, and let's see if I can feel better going into this offseason, or let's confirm that you can't play.
And then we can go into the offseason like,
and they're going to do neither.
I'm sick.
Like, they're at the point where they think he can't play, but I know them. I know the Cowboys.
Let it out.
We will get to the offseason, and they'll say, well, yeah, we knew there were going to be growing pains. And then I'm going to say, let him have them.
Yeah, you need to.
He sat over there.
That's crazy.
The growing pains are out there.
Yeah.
Get your ass kicked a little bit and figure out, why am I getting my ass kicked? What am I going to do about that Monday through Friday?
Yeah, and if you think that he's not improving, if you look at him and you say he's been playing all season, he's making the same mistakes, he's doing the same stuff, we need to convene and talk. Is it coaching? What is it? Because if it's the kid, I don't think him not playing is helping either. I agree with you. I think that this is very counterproductive to what you need to do because Chuma ain't going to be here.
No, and he doesn't. With all due respect to a guy that by all reports is a sweet, sweet man.
He is so kind.
He doesn't matter. Like, in the world, he matters because everyone matters. On the Cowboys football team, it doesn't matter. He's just a random backup offensive lineman journeyman that's going to be out of here. Like, nothing that you do or don't do on the field the rest of the way matters in any way for the Cowboys organization. Tyler Guyton could.
In fairness, I will say he did say that he had multiple offers. There's about 2 or 3 offers from other teams because we know how offensive line works. Everybody's trying to, he did have multiple offers. He chose to come back to Dallas. However, he's been injured. He's had issues this whole time he's here. He's not consistent. How different is that from Guyton at this point, to your point?
And I guess it just comes down to how wonky it is when you do things the way that the Cowboys do things, right? If I really struggle with everything about the Mike McCarthy thing right now because of this. Mike McCarthy is in the last year of a contract, so he has one goal: win the games. Put the best thing on the field, on tape, everything that I can, because I don't have any job security. I need my next job. So I have to do the best job that I can. So from his perspective, I get it. If Chuma is better than Guyton, we're going to play Chuma. And that sucks because all it means is that you have an organization that can't be in alignment because an organization's front office has to have other goals. When a season is lost, your goal becomes player development. What do we know that we have for the future? What can we find out if we have for you? All these different things you need to be focused on. He can't because he's in limbo. And even if they bring him back, like, we're going to talk about Mike McCarthy a lot over the next however long, from today until the season ends, until they've decided what they're going to do. Because I have no idea what's going to happen. There's enough smoke around the fire that I'm like, I think Jerry's comfortable with Mike. I could see him coming back. But then it comes down to, like, in my mind, what makes sense is you're saying, look, I'm not going to not give you another contract because I screwed you this year. I'm going to let you have another crack at it. But in my mind, that would be a 1-year thing.
And
they won't do that.
He don't want
He
that.
wouldn't do that.
I was about to say, anybody want that?
I'm not signing up to be dead man walking again. So if I keep you, it's going to be for like 4 more years. So if that's what you're planning to do, do it 6 weeks ago so that Mike can be in alignment with organization and we can do what is best for the Cowboys the rest of the way. But we can't because, as Jerry said in the promo for his Netflix special, it has to be a soap opera 365 days a year. So we need Mike in limbo because it's a story. And we can't have our organization in alignment as we go through the rest of this season because I won't give you the clarity on yes or no. And so therefore, you have to make the decisions that are best for you that aren't the best for our organization because I'm having fun.
Please. I feel bad that we have not mentioned Rashad Wright at all. All we talk about is
or Bucky,
but they both get on my nerves. They both run really fast.
Oh, with two eye in the sky. What's our match? Is that a matchup?
Whatever. I don't think it's a matchup. I just feel the guilt sunk in. That dang, I ain't mentioned the other running back all week. Dang, he ain't getting no love.
Oh, and he's kind of quasi the starter. But that's weird in the NFL. The veterans are the starter, and more we're seeing these young mid-round picks that are clearly better.
That's gonna be Rico. Rico's gonna be Rashad next year.
And you'll hope that we have a Bucky that outperforms him. And you're like, hey, get the younger guy. Because Bucky has taken more and more.
Facts.
And like Rashad White's not a bad player.
Right.
But Bucky Irving kind of goes ham.
Yeah, we talk about offensive line in this game. This is one of the best offensive lines in football. This is one of the best offensive lines in football. When you look at the Lions and all these guys, you got to look at the Bucs as one of the best offensive lines in football. Man, the way they fire off the ball in unison and stuff. This Cowboys defensive line is going to have. And another thing about Baker too is like you've seen him. I call him a little bunny rabbit because he be hopping in the pocket.
You'll be shocked if you've never seen it by how not evasive he is in his public intoxication arrest video.
Oh my God!
When he tried to run,
he hit his head so hard. I was concerned. It hurt me.
Yeah, it was a little concrete wall or barrier there, and you'll be shocked by how not evasive he was in that video. But he is a slippery little son of a biscuit.
This is tough. I mean, not having Trayvon, not having those guys. We heard Joe mention trying to shut down Mike Evans. Shoot, man, like this is gonna be difficult because the thing about Baker, it's like if you rush him, you have to contain him, and just be present. Like, if that makes sense. Because he gets frazzled by the blitz, but he's frazzled by the movement. You'll see him start looking at the rush. But he is looking to make plays downfield. I wonder if Zimmer throws some disguises at him and stuff like that. Because they are very much so quick game, on time, how things go as well.
They're very much – Mike Evans is a bad MFer. There's a lot of that. And they will. They do. I think they have a really nice – I think they have a really good offense. I think that the coordinator is smart and has good ideas. Their play design is good. They catch you off guard. They have balance. They have multiple good backs. The backs aren't just runners. They're receivers. And that'll be tough, especially with the Cowboys having the linebackers out there that don't have all of the experience. When that's a fun challenge for Maris Leofau and whoever else is playing linebacker. Mostly, I guess Leofau is the only one that matters. Since I'm talking about the players that matter because he has a future with the Cowboys. That's a challenge when you run into a guy that his backs will be used as receivers, and they are trying to find a matchup probably with you, and they want to catch you slipping and screwing up somewhere. It'll be a nice little challenge for me.
He's such a wild card. Like Baker's a wild card. You'll watch him one week, he'll play with patience, he'll be poised in the pocket. You watch him the next week, he tap dancing in that thing.
Fumble twice.
Watch him the next week, he's fumbling. The ball security's not there. The accuracy, like he is such. Like the Joker card when you put him down. That's how I look at him. But also, too, I want to talk about nose tackle in general because you're going up against Big Vita Vea. Jeff, on one hand, how many nose tackles are in the league right now that you can name that are difference makers?
Top of my head.
It's about 5. It's about 5 that you
probably
can think
about.
Of. And then after that, then what?
Mozzie, baby.
It is such a luxury position to me now in the NFL to have a nose that can take up space how Vita Vea does. Then you put Kalijah Cansey crazy self next to him. We already were aware of
run
him
right at him.
Draft. Yes.
Nice pass rusher, 280-pound D tackle.
Yes, and so is Yaya Diaby.
The baby.
The baby. The same way. But Yaya plays the run better than any of them.
All right, everybody, strap in. Prepare yourselves mentally and physically. We're hunting a dub tonight.
We are.
We're hunting a dub tonight.
I am. He don't care. I care.
But a loss would be great.
See,
thanks for stopping by for the pregame show. Kerry Matthews, Freak Jesus, it looks like he's trying to get gambling advice from me. I don't have that. I don't gamble. I play daily fantasy with our friends at Sleeper.
A sleeper.
I'm a more than, less than kind of guy. Everybody have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you in a few hours when this game goes final, and we'll talk about the Cowboys some more. How about that? Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy, or else. That's not a threat.
We all silly like the mayor.